A letter dated February 24, 2017, was penned to the Governor-General expressing the party's concerns with the decision to terminate 8 returning officers at the Parliamentary Election Office. The NDC stated that their positions being terminated around an election cycle, it limits the amount of time available to train new officers. The Governor-General issued a response saying that her decision was taken in her own deliberate judgment according to the Representation of the People's Act. The response also stated that there was sufficient time to train the new recruits. However, leader of the NDC, Nazim Burke, questions whether the Governor-General's decision was taken with reasonableness and due consideration.
The law says that the Governor-General can hire these persons or fire these persons in her own deliberate judgment. If she tells me, I was exercising my own deliberate judgment and I'm free to get rid of these persons, and she chooses not to even have a conversation with the supervisor of elections before getting rid of these persons, then in a strict sense, one may say that she's exercising authority that the law gives her. But if she truly has to deliberate and know what are the circumstances and whether her decision to remove that person will be a good decision or not, then it seems to me she must have a conversation with the supervisor of elections. Are you following me? To that extent, deliberation would require that conversation.
Burke also responded to the notion that the firing of the 8 returning officers could have been avoided if the Elections and Boundaries Commission Amendment Bill was approved at last year's referendum.
One of the bills that had been put forward for consideration in this whole debate, constitutional debate, was a bill concerning the appointment of the Governor-General, the election and tenure of the Governor-General. That bill said that the Governor-General should no longer be appointed by the Prime Minister. If you say that you really believe that the Governor-General should be independent, should have an independent tenure, and should not be in a situation where they feel as though they have to answer to the Prime Minister because the Prime Minister gave me a work, then you would not oppose that bill. You would support that bill. So when they say these things, you must ask them, why did the government side choose to pull back on that bill?
Meanwhile, despite the response from the Governor-General, the NDC remains convinced that Grenada's democracy is under threat. Akeisha Felix for GBN News.